Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Pokémon Sleep. Let's head in with the week already in progress and check out last night's sleep research. Hopefully we have some fun spawns today. We'll get to that in just a moment. That's your little teaser. So, for last night, full 100 sleep score, a little bit less sleep than the night prior, but looks like a good average balance of sleep with a little bit more snoozing, which is good for me. That's usually what helps me to feel the most recovered. And it shows. Full, true balanced sleep for the last night of the new Sleep Discovery Week. $281 million drowsy power. Full 8 spawns. We got a couple of 3 stars in there. So hopefully something new. Luxio atop belly. And it's new. Thank you. Also have Pichu, Diglett, Aeron, Honchkrow. We've also got Magnemite and Chirico. So, looks like only the Luxio. Luxray. Is the new sleep style for this research. Looks like it makes up the lion's share of the Dream Shards and XP. Yeah, all of it right there. It's a big chunk of both. And that should be my first. It's able to see through walls, even if the walls are thick. Luxray is slumbering deeply. It may have used up a lot of energy seeing through things. It is now resting to recover. Wow, how's that? First one is the 4-star. Big old chunk of XP and Dream Shards. Hungry Aeron and Hungry Diglett. Well, it being the first one, it would have been nice if it would have been Hungry to go along with it, because that is going to be a challenge to see everyone. Yeah, even Honchkrow I would like to take home, but it is not Hungry, and that has so many pips. So, we're just going to stick with the starter. I am not looking to dump a whole bunch of biscuits out today. Want to save those for the rest of this month. Trying to be a little more spendthrift with my biscuit usage. Unnecessary big hit, but appreciated. Just means extra love in that bite. And that is where I will call it for that, but let's check the daily gift just to be safe. 20 more diamonds. Very nice. Okay. I want to stop while I'm ahead. That's a good question. I kind of want to commemorate that as the end of the week as a new sleep style. So that's what I'm going to do. Shinx Candy's still good. $40,000 Dream Shards? I like that. I like that a lot. Kind of almost wish I had used a Focus or one of the other incenses last night to help get me some more. Alright, first up, Jolly. This one does have Berry Finding in the first slot, and is a mono ingredient collector. It's a skill specialist, so fine. No skill level up, but Berry Finding, Ingredient Finding, inventory up, Dream Shard bonus. And Jolly would have been probably okay with the ingredient finding because it would have been making more room, but no skill trigger and no helping speed. That's a pass. Okay. At least I got to see one with berry finding, so at least got some excitement out of it. But with that winds out last week's sleep research. Let's talk about where we're at now. No news. But as you may notice, yeah, I'm on expert on green grass. So, we got some fun and exciting things that are a little bit different for this week. So, for my typing for this week, I have ground, water, and ghost type. So ghost being the primary, they'll help out 10% faster. Its main skill will be boosted by 1 level, and they'll be bringing extra ingredients. So it's going to be a big focus to make sure to keep them on the team where possible. Water will have just will be regular, just with more ingredients. No like extra speed boost. And ground, same thing. Everything else, 15% slower. So, for this week's dishes, I got curries and stews. So, for that, normally I would try to work towards doing like Inferno Keema curry or Dream Eater butter curry. This week, I'm going to focus on Dizzy Punch spiced curry for a few reasons. The first is, for this first week where I've got no area bonus whatsoever, as you can see, through breakfast and lunch, I am only at basic 2. I have not even cracked into great. This is going to be like those first couple of weeks at Lapis Lakeside and Old Gold Power Plant, where it is just going to be slow goings as that area bonus builds up. But it's not entirely terrible with that loadout. With that being the Blook, Oron, and Figgy Berries, I've actually got a pretty okay team to go with that. So I've got Blastoise to be able to get the milk. I've got, where are they? Gengar to start bringing in some fiery herbs. So those will be working just fine. It just means that the coffee, the healing, and some of the honey will be at a slight disadvantage. But all 3 of them are performing at such a high level, it's gonna be a challenge, certainly, but I could have gotten a significantly worse start to my first expert week. I'm actually already getting capped out on ingredients, which is lovely as well. Oh, but also to circle back, I'm getting so ahead of myself because I'm excited. New island. Finished out last week with an S ranking, got the extra... got the additional handy candy. There we are. There's basic 3. Some other fun stuff, and I'm sure you've seen this if you've been watching some of the other folks in the community or you've been on expert mode yourself. There's some other extra stuff that kind of gets added in to expert mode. So, not that most of this is going to happen. I will be happy to get to grade 2 this week. Ultra, maybe if I'm lucky. So Master, completely out of the equation this week. Is we have our normal regular missions. So we've got going up to use. We do have candies for this week. I'm probably going to let some more additional dream shards build up before I go into that and make a better selection of who I want to use that candy on. Because who knows what I might find this week. Knock on wood. But there are a couple of additional missions that you get as a treat, a challenge of going through expert mode. So it's getting 20 hours of each of the ghost, water, and ground type. So the ones matching. So the ghost type will be super easy. The water type will be super easy. It's that ground type that is going to be probably, hey, once I regularly start capping on some of these ingredients, whichever I have the most abundance of, flipping that ingredient specialist off and letting a berry specialist take the wheel. They'll be able to help get some extra strength as this week goes on. At least that's the plan. Let's make some dinner. And then we'll circle back to all the other stuff. But yeah. 3-ingredient dish allows me to use some of the excess ingredients that the other specialists are bringing in, because right now Blastoise and Venusaur are also getting ingredient triggers. So that does mean that like I can help clear out a little bit more of their inventories. Yeah, like I got a whole lot of honey. And I can continue to work on this dish because it's still not fully leveled up. But I figured a 3-ingredient dish was going to be a better choice for this week. So I had more flexibility to be able to swap off Pokemon, depending on what the typing was. So I'm also not looking to min-max through this week. Like I'm not really like trying to crank through ranks that quickly. Also, I just noticed that Snorlax's blanket is a little different on expert mode. Isn't that nice? You get a special little somewhere to rest. It's a little bit different art. I appreciate that. All right. So let's get all of that. Wonderful. And this is actually a good opportunity to get some sleep hours on my Gengar. This one, when last rated, was a 96%, so it's all good where it's at, straight up to 59, because 60 then it won't be good for getting mushrooms in the mix. But it's got helping bonus, so it can help those that are dragging behind do well. And it's got a good leveled up charge strength because it got 3 levels and then 2 more from evolving. And then once this does get to 50, it'll also be really good at pulling in even more. Yeah, this feels good. Get some more on there. Maybe the Gengar is where I want to use them. Probably not. I've got plenty of other ingredient Pokemon I want to spend some resources on. But it feels good. It feels like I got a pretty okay start to expert mode. Let's check in with the community. Didn't forget you guys. All 50. Thank you everyone for your continued sleep research. Happy to see all of them respond. Cool. So, that's the plan for this week as far as it is now. Greengrass is also one of the most under-researched areas for me, so not only we're going to be getting area bonus, we're going to be getting time on. We're basically focusing on every possible development area in the game all at once through this. So, got a couple of weeks of this before we get to Amber Canyon, so it would be nice to get just a little bit of practice at this before we get back to the non-expert islands. So, it felt like a good time. There's nothing specific going on this week. It feels like a good opportunity that this is where I'm going to focus some effort. So, I am excited. But with that, that's going to do it for me for today. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thank you for your patience and understanding waiting for this late upload. And I'll be back tomorrow evening as well. It's another early morning for me. It seems like I'm finally settling into a pace of early mornings to start my week, and then we'll being able to get the early morning stuff later in the week. So tune in tomorrow. see how my first night on expert mode goes. And until then, sleep well.